Hi everyone, my name is Tori, this is Novel Life, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have my November wrap-up to share with you. So, as always, my November mid-month wrap-up will be linked in the cards. So go check out all the books that I read in the first half of November, and in today's video I'm going to talk about all the books that I read in the second half of November. So, I'm going to give you some statistics for the last half of November. I read a total of 16 books in the last half of November, 8 were audio, 5 were ebook, 3 were physical. For a breakdown of genre, I had 8 contemporary romances, 3 novellas, 2 holiday romances, 1 fantasy romance, 1 fiction, and 1 historical romance. Breakdown star rating, I had 2 5-star reads, 2 4.5-star reads, 5 4-star reads, 3 3.5 stars, 4 3 stars. So for the total of November, I read a total of 36 books, 18 were audio, 6 were physical, and 12 were ebook. For a breakdown of star rating, I had 5 5-star reads, 6 4.5 star, 12 4-star, 3 3.5 star, 8 3-star, 1 1-star, and 1 DNF. Breakdown of genre, I had 18 contemporary romances. Clearly, we know what I've been reading. 3 fantasy romances, 2 fiction, 5 dark romances, 4 novellas, 2 holiday romances, 1 historical romance, and 1 mafia romance. Like I said, go check out mid-month wrap-up for the first 20 books. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the 16 books that I read in the last half. So the first 2 were actually for a reading vlog that is already posted on my channel, and that is a collab with Nikki. So Nikki from Nikki and Bookland, she picked 2 books for me to read, and I picked 2 books for her, and we vlogged it. The first one was The Forbidden Man by Karina Halley. So if you want my full thoughts, you can go check out that video. This book I gave 4 stars. I thought it was a solid 4-star read from Karina Halley. I've read, I would say, a decent amount by Karina Halley, so I have a pretty good understanding of her writing, and I feel like this isn't like the best of her writing, but the only problem that I had with it was that it was just a little bit too long, and I felt like the ending was really rushed. But I overall enjoyed the story. It is a forbidden age gap romance where the female character is older and our main male character is younger, and he is a soccer player. She starts as the team physical therapist, so it's workplace romance and forbidden in that way because they're not supposed to be together, and I really enjoyed it. They had spicy times. There was a sauna scene where I was like, okay, sauna scene, and that was very spicy. So I will say this is one of Karina Halley's spicier books. But I still really, really enjoyed it. And then the second one that I read for that reading vlog was Eleanor and Gray by Brittany Cherry, and I gave this 4.5 stars. I listened to the audio, and it was so good. It was so good. I really enjoy Brittany Cherry's writing. I don't know what it is, but this year, like, I've really gotten into her writing more. I read 1, maybe 2 books last year previously, and they were okay. I think I gave 1 like 3 stars or something like that, but I really dove into her backlist, and I found some gems that I really, really loved. And this one's definitely on that list. I need to read the second book, which follows Landon and Shay, they're friends, because I'm really, really intrigued. But this one, I mean, I know it's an older book, but I'm really glad she picked it for me to read it, and I gave it 4 stars, and I loved that. I love that book. And then I read another romance I'm really excited to talk about, and that's Fake Empire by C.M. Farnsworth. So I read the ebook, and to be 100% honest, I got this rec from Cheyenne at That's How Book Girl. A lot of these like romances where I've heard of the authors, I just never read it, or read anything by them, Cheyenne has like, will read them and be like, this one's a good gem from them. You know what I mean? And I gave this book 4.5 stars. If you know me, I love a billionaire romance. Billionaire romances are just some of my favorite things to read in romances. I don't know why. I love a rich guy or a rich woman. And in this case, I have it marked as 4.5, but I might change it to a 5 because I really, really enjoyed it. I don't know. It was just so good because both characters are billionaires. Like, when I say they're billionaires, they come from so much fucking money. Like, no one can touch them, right? And it's an arranged marriage. But what I love, so I love billionaire romances because the guy's usually rich and the female character's like, no, I don't need your money, because they're like, they want to do it themselves. In this case, our female character is just as fucking rich, and she literally doesn't need him at all. She literally doesn't need him at all. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. She's running her own company. In the prenup, she goes to him and is like, in the prenup, you are signing away your rights to my company. You do not get that company. I built that company. I'm maintaining control of it. You don't get that if we divorce or whatever like that. He's like, fine, whatever. And then he comes to find out exactly how much that company is worth and how much she's put into it. And the dynamic between the characters, I loved. I love 2 equal characters that can like go head to head with each other, and they're so equal. And so, I don't know. I could talk about this one forever. I love this one. It was such a good book. Oh, I love this one. Like, I want more billionaire romances where the characters are equal like that. Like, they both come into the marriage or the relationship or whatever the case may be with like equal opportunities, equal money, equal power. Like, I want all of that. Okay. I want it. So if you have any recommendations like that, please drop it because I need more. Okay. The next book is a fiction book. That is Where the Mountains Meet the Sea by A.R. Breck. And I'm going to tell you right now, I consider this fiction. It is not a romance. It is not a romance. I talked about it in a Books I'm Obsessed With video that I recently posted. This is not a romance, but it is so fucking heartbreaking. I was sobbing while reading the story. I gave it 5 stars. I had to order the paperback, okay? When I tell you I was sobbing and I was voice memoing McKay about this book because she read it and she was like sobbing, right? And when I tell you I was sobbing, I literally like couldn't really talk to her and tell her how I was feeling. Now, I know a friend that hated this book, and that's fine. We all can't agree on every book, you know what I mean? But I love this book. I thought the story was beautiful. It is a rock star and a ballerina, and it's childhood friends to lovers. And basically, it is one of those things where life gets in the way, certain things come up, and they just cannot be together. And it honestly broke my heart. But let me just say, it's not a romance, okay? It's not a romance. I repeat, it's not a romance. Okay. The next book I read was Songs in the Hunted by Kay Forner or Bethany Christ. So I received this arc from her, and I have actually read this book before. She recently published this book under The Hunted. And I don't know how many words that was, but basically she took it down. She rewrote it. She added so much to this book. So the original story I absolutely loved, right? I really enjoyed that story. I thought it was great. It's mermaids, dark romance, but mermaids. She is a mermaid and he is like a bastard of the king, and basically they have like a romance, but he like takes her captive because he thinks that she killed his mother, and there's like this whole thing, right? That's still the basic premise of the story, but I will say that I consider this newly published Songs of the Hunted a fantasy romance, and it is a solid fantasy romance. It starts off really well with the series. It introduces a lot more stuff. There's a lot more moving parts, and I gave it 4 stars. I think it was really well done. I don't think, no, this is the only like fantasy thing Bethany's written, I think. If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but like full everything, and it takes a lot to do and create a fantasy world, and I think she did really good with it, and I love all the things that she added to it. So I would highly recommend this. Like I said, it's not your normal Little Mermaid that you might know from Disney. It's totally different, totally dark. There's triggers, definitely check those, and really enjoyed this one. The next one I read was Wild Rebel by Laurelyn Page. I gave this 3 stars. So Laurelyn Page is an author that I really enjoy her writing. I know she writes billionaire romances, okay? And we meet these 2 characters in a previous little trilogy or duet that she has. So I wanted to continue on in this dirty universe. That's what she calls it. And it was okay. This one was okay. The ending's like piqued my attention. So this is a like second chance romance. He has like a lot of animosity and wants to get like revenge on what happened to the female character. She didn't show up for something. They've had a past. They go to this like school together, and apparently her dad, who is the head principal, I guess you can say, headmaster, has abused him in the past. And so it's hinted at. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But like I said, this is a duet. Is it a trilogy? I can't remember. I want to continue because I don't want to say anything about the ending because it did pique my interest. But it was good. It was solid. A lot of when Laurelyn Page does these like duets or little trilogies, they're like 250 pages each book, and so I feel like I don't get a full story, so that's why like the first is always like okay for me. So yeah, 3 stars to that one. The next book I read was Reckless Memories by Catherine Cowles. I'm making my way through Catherine Cowles' backlist, and this is the first book in the Wrecked series. I actually found this at Half Price Books, but I have the audio bind up of the first 3 books in the series, and I did listen to this one, and I gave this one, which one did I give this one? 4 stars. So in this case, our female character, she loses her sister, but the guy that her sister is dating, she has like a thing with years later. So I wouldn't say it's second chance romance. She's just kind of grew up with him because he dated her sister, but her sister passes away for some reason. The prologue, she always gets me with these damn prologues. And I thought this was a really good start to the series, and I gave it 4 stars because I really did like that forbidden aspect of, no, my sister was with you. I think it was like when she passed away, or like right before they like broke up or something like that. I think it's because she passed away, they broke up, obviously. They weren't together anymore. She's like, no, I shouldn't be with you because you were like my sister's boyfriend at the time. You guys weren't supposed to be together, but you're my best friend. So like I feel very conflicted of how I feel now. Like present time. So I just really like that forbidden aspect. And yeah, I'm enjoying this series. I did move on to the second book, which is Perfect Wreckage, and I gave it 3 stars. This one was just okay. It's not my favorite. I felt like it fell off a lot. There was a trope that I don't like. That's in this book, so need I say more? No, that's all I got for that one. Then the next 3 books are all on audio, and they're all novellas, and it is part of Will and Ash's Holiday Brothers series. So I read The Naughty, The Nice, and The Nanny, which is exactly what it says. This is a nanny romance where our female character, she is hired by like an agency to go nanny for this guy, but she knows the guy from past, and she is helping with his daughter. And I just thought that the actual child in the book was actually really, really, like, she wasn't just there, you know what I mean? I just enjoyed that their little holiday novella, his last name is Holiday, takes place around Christmas. I really love that. Now, 3 bells, 2 boys, 2 beaux, and 1 best friend. This one I gave 3.5 stars. Brother's best friend. It was this one was just okay. It wasn't my favorite. And then I gave a Partridge and a Pregnancy 3.5 stars. I mean, Partridge and a Pregnancy. Okay. I don't like Surprise Baby or Secret Baby. Well, I don't like Surprise Baby. And that's basically what this one was. And it was just, I don't know, should I stay? Should I go? I'm having his baby. Do I stay? It was just okay. But it got me in the mood for some Christmas and holiday romances. So I moved on to Slay, You'll Stay by Michelle Garifalakis, I think it is. And I gave this one 4 stars. This one was really cute. This would have been like a 4.5 star holiday read if the ending wasn't rushed. Like, if the ending wasn't rushed, I would have gotten it. Now, this is a cowboy holiday romance. They're all on this, like, holiday farm. All these people work there. She leaves college to go work there, and she has this very enemies to lovers relationship with the cowboy that's there, but he's an Australian cowboy. So it is small town. It's really cute. They have little rendezvous in the middle of the night, stuff like that. And I just really, really actually enjoyed it. And I gave it 4 stars. This is a good, solid holiday romance I would recommend. The next book I read is The Duke I Tempted by Scarlett Peckham. This was my cover-to-cover book club that I run with Sam from Sam Reads Littles pick for November. Now, I gave this 3 stars because I'm not feeling historic romances. I haven't been, but I will say I didn't mind this one. Like, it was okay. My thing is that because this is Scarlett Peckham's debut novel, I've read The Ray Kess, which is her most recent release. Loved that book. I think I gave 4.5, 5 stars, okay? And we have a whole live show talking about this book if you want to go see like all of our thoughts, but we both kind of settled on the same thing. I think we both gave it 3 stars. And it's just one of those things where a lot of things were underdeveloped. The character development wasn't as there as the other book. Sam hasn't read that one, but I have, so I can compare. I just felt like there's a lot of things that weren't fleshed out. There were things that the characters did or what they chose to do that didn't really make sense. There wasn't reasonings behind them, so I was kind of like, what's going on, right? So it was a 3-star read. I'm interested in the sister story. That's the next book, so we'll see if I ever get to that, but it was a good pick that we, read for November. The next book I have is actually a reread, and that's Magnolia Pox by Jessa Hastings. This book, y'all. I love this book so much. So I'm rereading this series in preparation for the release of Daisy Hates The Great Undoing. The cover just came out today. I'm filming this on Thursday. And I went and highlighted so much just because I devoured these books so quickly when I first read them. So I feel like I lost a lot of the details because I was reading so quickly. I'm like, I have to know what happens because I was literally obsessed with BJ and Magnolia. And I feel like when I read Daisy Hates, which is the next book in the series, I kind of flew through that one a lot quicker. And I didn't really dive into a lot of the things with the characters because I only cared about BJ and Magnolia. But now that I know what happens in the first 3 books, I can go back and take a second and enjoy them. So I'm making my way through them. I'm going to pick up Daisy Hates and Magnolia Park's Long Way Home in December, before December 15th, before the next book comes out. But this was just a great reread. I love this book. 5 stars. 5 stars to that one. Then I read Indigo Ridge. And let me tell you, I had a hard time with this Stephanie Perry. I don't know what it was. So I have heard that this is more suspense than anything, and that's very true. This is more suspense with romantic elements, and I just did not care. There's this whole mystery about who's killing these girls. They're not just suicides. These girls didn't just commit suicide over the past 7 years, something like that. And she's the new sheriff in town, and so she's trying to figure things out, and he owns Indigo Ridge and runs it, and I just did not care. I did not care. I love these characters in Juniper Hill and Garnet Flats. I love seeing them, but I didn't care about their story. I was just it took me 5 or 6 days to read this ebook, and I was like, no. So I gave it 3 stars. Not my favorite in the series. Juniper Hill is one of my top books of the year. This one, not so much. And the last book I read was Along Came Holly by Cody Hall. So we're actually reading a Cody Hall book for our cover to cover book club in December. But this one I wanted to read because it's in like part of the same series. Obviously, it's like a play on the titles, and I like that. But this one was just cute. I give it 3.5 stars. It's a little too long for a holiday romance, but it was adorable. Like, it's a small town, very much kind of enemies to lovers. And he's just like pushing her away. There's a part in the audiobook that made me laugh, and he's like, then along came Holly, and she done screwed everything up. And I was like, that's pretty funny. It's like a play on, you know, movie titles and stuff like that. So yeah, I just thought that one was okay. It was good. I hope that the There's Something About Mary is better, but I do want to read the other book that's in this series, Nicholas and something. I don't know. Jess from Honest Fiction told me about it. But those are the 16 books I read in the second half of November. Make sure you check out my mid-month wrap-up. Drop me a... What kind of emoji? Drop me a blue heart emoji because I'm wearing a blue sweatshirt. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you like and subscribe for more content from me. As always, I hope you're living a novel life, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.